Good afternoon, team, and welcome to the Rise and Grind team call. This is Coach Chaz, and my computer is completely tweaking out right now. Is my video choppy?
Mine looks pretty smooth on my iPad.
Okay.
Yeah, your video's fine.
That's weird.
Same with sound, it looks good.
Yeah, it's freezing on my end. Anyways, moving forward. We're going to start with recognition, going out to Kaylee, leading the pack with Success Club points. Shocker, right? 8 points for the month. And then we've got myself following behind with 5 points, Rebecca Linville with 2 points, Chelsea Fox at 2 points, and Kel at 1 point. We are not even halfway through the month, so if Success Club is one of your goals every month, you definitely still have some time to get this done. And one way you can get that done is moving into today's call, which is about challenge groups. We have a lot of new coaches coming in lately, especially the last couple months. So I wanted to touch base on this because we get a lot of people that are questioning, how do I run challenge groups? Or it's just that fear of leading a group by yourself that kind of scares you to begin with. So we're going to cover everything challenge groups today. So for those of you on the live call, if you can think of any questions as I go along without this whole thing, at the end, I'm going to open up questions. And if you have any questions that you remember asking in the beginning about challenge groups, this will be a good time to write those down so we can answer at the end for the new people. So challenge groups, we're going to start bare bones basics here. What is a challenge group? It is a Facebook accountability group. It's a private group, so the posts that you do inside that group stay in that group. No one on your public feed can see it. As long as when you create your group, you set it to private, because you'll see open, I think it's custom or something like that, and then private. So always make sure that thing is private. So moving forward, the biggest obstacle, I should say there's 2 obstacles that we face when dealing with challenge groups. Number 1 is finding people to add to them. Number 2, this has been my struggle. It's keeping people engaged. I have been hosting challenge groups myself for coming up on 2 years. January this year will be 2 years. And I can tell you I've hosted at least 1 per month minimum. And I've hosted a ton of smaller ones in between there. So I've hosted a minimum of about 25 challenge groups so far. And about, I'm going to say 17, 18, 19 of those have been complete failures. They have bombed, which means for me, they were really active in the first week, maybe week 2, and then everyone disappears towards the end. So moving forward, how do you find people and how do you keep people active? Finding people. This is where you're going to look at how you manage challenge groups. So here is kind of the system that I use now. And this has come through trial and error because I used to try to put together challenge groups, could not find a soul. It was crickets. Some challenge groups we only had 3 or 4 people in there and it failed. So here's the system I came up with. Instead of trying to promote right out of the gate, hey guys, I'm a new Beachbody coach, or maybe you've been a Beachbody coach for a while, but instead of trying to get people inside of a big 30 or 60-day challenge, following one program, what I found works is if you start with a small challenge of 5 to 7, maybe even 10 days, make it completely free, meaning nobody has to buy a Beachbody program. So what you're doing is you're starting a clean eating challenge for 5 days, maybe a push-up and squat challenge for 7 days, or you could do, burpees. Just go onto YouTube or Google and search different exercises and nutrition methods. And you can do, paleo challenge, carb cycling. There's so many options out there. So when you're starting these challenge groups, you don't want to just post a bunch of Facebook posts on your public wall. What you need to be doing, and this is where a lot of people make the mistake because a lot of people consider inviting, which is one of our vital behaviors, they think that their inviting is simply just posting a Facebook post saying, hey guys, I'm doing a 5-day clean eating challenge. Who wants to join? And then that's where they leave it. Now, what you should do in this case is when you do a post and you're inviting people to your challenge group, pay attention to who is liking that post, because for whatever reason, people, especially on their phones, because I think phones are probably the number 1 way that people are Facebooking right now. When people are sitting here scrolling down that news feed, it's so much easier to hit like than it is to stop, comment, and then hit send. For whatever reason, whether it's laziness or just people's short attention span these days, People will always like something before they comment. So pay attention to who is liking and reach out to those people. And keep it simple, guys, especially if you're a new coach. It's easy to overthink things. Keep it very simple. Just reach out to them. Let's say Bob liked your post about your invite to your challenge group. You simply just send him a message. And let's say this is somebody you've never talked to before. All you have to say is, hey, Bob, I just saw you had liked my post about my challenge group. Before we get into details, tell me more about yourself. And then you just go into what are their goals, etc. Keep it basic. Remember, we're always trying to get to know people first before you try to just promote product and sell, because that's where they're going to get pushed away. So after you do a 5 to 7 day challenge, once that finishes up, if you want to pursue more of a Beachbody based challenge where you can start selling your challenge packs and getting people involved with Shakeology, that's where you can transition into, okay, guys, we just finished up a 5-day clean eating challenge. Next up, I'm going to be hosting a 30-day, and you can call it whatever challenge. What's the current one I've been seeing around? Fall back to fitness, being fall, the season. You can come up with whatever names you want. I came up with mine is Rise and Grind Challenge, because I'm a big believer in rising first thing in the morning and start grinding on your goals. So Rise and Grind has been one of mine. I've done 6 weeks to excellence was another challenge group that was pretty successful. Just play around with the wording, find out what you want to do. If you're doing a specific program, then you want to come up with something like, let's say P90, which is our newest program. You want to say, hey guys, I'm running a P90 test group. If you want to be the first one to test this program out with me, like this comment or like this post or comment below. And pay attention to who's liking, and again, just start sending out those messages. And never on the first message do you want to start shoving details down their throat. You always want to establish that relationship first, because people will only do business with you if they trust you. I've seen too many times where I personally have made the mistake of jumping on the challenge pack sale way too soon. And even if I get the sale, 30 days down the road, that person has disappeared. And even though I made the Success Club points, I missed out on the relationship. Because in this business, yes, we have bills to pay. If you're pursuing this full time, we have to make money at some point. But at the same time, it's a fine line that is drawn, and you have to really watch where you're walking on it. You have to pay attention to, not only are you wanting to make the sale to earn the income to pay your bills, if this is your full-time gig, but you also want to be keeping the best interest of that person, because we are here to help people fulfill their goals, not just ours. Because as Jim Rohn says, when you help enough people achieve what they want, you will achieve what you want. So always remember, the relationship must come first. Even if you don't make the sale right away, I could tell you some of my best customers, my best coaches have come months down the road after we first established that connection. So with challenge groups, this doesn't matter if you're hosting a free group or somebody that has bought a challenge pack and is doing the full 30 or 60-day challenge group with you. The number one thing that will keep your people engaged is if you walk the walk. This is a crucial one. And this was mentioned on the coach call this morning for the National Wake Up Call, and I'm so happy she brought it up, because I have had some really bad workout ADD, is what I call it, for years. For like 3 years, I never followed a program by the schedule for the full 60 or 90 days. I would do a program for a few weeks, fall off track, get bored, jump onto another program. I would come up with the most insane hybrids I can think of, and I thought it was the best idea in the world. I didn't stick with it for probably 2 weeks, tops. And I know I'm not the only one that does that. So I was trying to do that while running challenge groups, and I couldn't figure out, okay, why are my challenge groups suffering? Why are people not following their program? Duh. I had to look in the mirror. I was not following the program myself, and people are always going to follow what you do, not just what you say. For those of you who have kids, I've heard several times it's the same way. Your children are never going to listen to what you say. They're going to follow what you do. If they see you doing bad habits, they're probably going to grow up doing those bad habits too. It's happened, again and again. So the number one thing, guys, is just walk the walk. follow a program. If you are running and hosting a P90 challenge group, you should be following P90 too. That way you're actually understanding what your customers are going through and they're able to connect with you. Especially if you guys are doing the same program on the same schedule. There's something about having other people that are on the same day you are. It makes it so much more fun to follow that program. So if you are falling off track with your fitness, remember that you're a coach. You have people looking up to you. Even if you're brand new, people are going to be watching you that you have no idea about. I've had people message me and reach out to me that followed me for years, never once liked or commented or messaged me. So I had no idea they existed, and out of nowhere, they'll message and say, "Hey, Chaz, I just want to let you know that you've been inspiring me for 4 years." It's kind of like, wow, what? So the second you sign up to be a coach, you are stepping into a leadership position in some way. It may not be leading a huge organization, but you have people looking up to you to get inspired. So walk the walk, follow a program, drink your Shakeology every day, and post about it. That's what those challenge groups are for. It's like a place where people can come and whether they want to vent about their life struggles. I love challenge groups because people have totally used them. It's like a counseling group almost sometimes. People go in there and post about their struggles, and they automatically have a team of people that are in there supporting them, giving them tips and ideas on how they can overcome whatever they're going through. So challenge groups they should be a safe place for people to come and post about whatever they want that they don't want to share on the regular wall. So next up is, let's say you haven't done a challenge group in a while. Let's say that you're brand new and you have no idea where to start. Start small, bare bones basics. You do not want to overwhelm yourself right out of the gate. So starting small means you are learning how to lead a challenge group. You are learning to become a coach. You're learning how to inspire people and lead by example. So that starts with, like I said earlier, just a small 5 to 7 day challenge group. It doesn't matter if it's a clean eating challenge, a squat challenge, push-up challenge, burpees, whatever you want to do and put people through, just start small. So a 5-day clean eating challenge, you can go onto Google and just search clean eating 5-day or 10-day clean eating challenge. I can promise you there's going to be so much material and guides and everything there. They're going to have grocery lists and all that kind of stuff. And you're going to have everything you need as far as resources. So don't feel like you don't know how to run a clean eating challenge or anything like that. Just go to Google. Remember, when you sign up as a coach, you are becoming your own boss. You are your own CEO. We are here as a team. I'm here as most of your guys' sponsor coach to help you and support you. But ultimately, this is your business and you have to put in the work. So learn to do self-research. That is a huge one. And next up, after you do your 5 to 7 day clean eating challenge or squat challenge, whatever it is, you want to find the ones who are serious, because let's say you get 10 people inside of a small challenge group. Not all 10 of those people are going to be people that jump right on board with Beachbody or a challenge pack or as a coach. Network marketing in any business in general, I can tell you firsthand experience. I've ran a massage business for a few years now, and it's the exact same struggle. If you talk to 100 people, 10 people are going to be interested, and maybe 2 out of those 10 will sign up. So think about the numbers there. It's a lot of people you have to talk to ultimately build this business into a residual income where you can quit your job or build the full-time income, whatever your goal is. So when you're transitioning into this 30-day group, maybe on the last day or 2 of your 5-day challenge, you just do a simple post and say, hey guys, I know a few of you were asking me about what's next as far as challenge groups. I am going to be hosting a 30-day challenge group, which is going to be based on Beachbody programs. If you want more information, just like this post or comment. And again, pay attention to who's liking the post, because a lot of people are not going to message you. A lot of people are not going to comment. So message every person that's liking that. And again, don't lead with the details and the facts. Lead with, hey, how's it going? How can I help you? Get to know about them and their goals and move forward from there. And just a few bullet points. We're making this call quick. Few bullet points. Again, engage. That is the absolute best tip I can give you for challenge groups: stay engaged. When you back off and disappear, your customers and your followers and your challenge group people are going to back off and disappear too. So if you're in there as a coach and they don't see you posting and they see you just checking in every now and then, chances are they're going to follow your lead. They're not going to be in there much either. But if you are in there multiple times a day posting resources and tips and videos, post about your own workouts, your Shakeology, post about your life, people are going to follow that. People are going to engage with you. So again, I can't beat it into people's heads enough. Lead by example. Walk the walk. Number 2, another great way to keep people engaged in your challenge groups, especially in the longer groups of 30 to 60 days, do a daily post with a daily challenge. This can be something like post a video of your intro. I always do this one on day 1. Day 1 is always, let's get to know each other. Post a video or a post. I prefer video because you get to know people's personalities and their tone of voice a lot better than just a simple post. So day 1 of your challenge, have them post an intro about themselves, what their goals are, what program they're using, etc. Day 2, it can be something like, let's see a picture of your workout space. So, some people it's going to be their living room, some people it's going to be a gym, and just a quick, easy little picture, and it keeps them engaged. Day 3, let's say it's, okay guys, let's work on water intake. This is a fun one. People love this one for some reason, even though it sucks to do at the time. Drink half of your body weight in ounces of water. So example, if you're 160 pounds, that's going to be 80 ounces of water, and you are going to go and do 10 squats or 10 push-ups, come up with some type of number. Let's say 10 squats. Every time you have to pee throughout the day, do 10 squats. People, it's funny because the number one thing I see when we do this challenge is people realize that they're either going to the bathroom more than they thought they were, or they're not going enough. So it makes people think about their water intake a little bit more, because a lot of people are not getting enough hydration throughout their day. So when they're forced to drink half their body weight worth in ounces, a lot of people realize, holy cow, I have not been keeping up with my water that well. So it's triggering. It's a fun challenge, but at the same time, there's something behind it. It's triggering people to think about their past and what they've actually been doing. Let's say that was day 3. Let's say day 4 comes around, and you can go onto YouTube and type in motivational video. Find something that's inspiring. Find something by Eric Thomas, Les Brown, Tony Robbins. Find something that's inspiring. Share that video and say, here's your challenge. I want you to watch this video and take notes. And after you watch it, I want you to comment below or post a video with your thoughts and what you took out of it. How did this inspire you? And a lot of those videos get people to start thinking about their lives. And a lot of people realize they're not happy with where they're at, or they get some type of inspiration. So, that was just off the top of my head. I don't have like a specific system. I just go with whatever I feel the group needs that day, because you don't want to do push-up challenge, jumping jack challenge, squat challenge, burpee challenge, all back to back. You don't want to burn people out on physical exercise. You want to keep it mixed up. So do a physical challenge, a mental challenge, a video challenge, a photo challenge. Just make a bullet point list if you want to. Just write down 5 different types of challenges and just rotate through those every 5 days. So you can see you can take challenge groups. What I'm sharing here is just a basic broad overview. You can take this idea and, of course, make it your own. You never have to reinvent the wheel, but you do have to customize it, because this is a business where we have 230,000 coaches. Why would someone come to you as opposed to another coach? You have to find ways to set yourself apart. Be that coach that you would want to go to. So make a list of qualities that set you apart. Find ways to add your own twist on something like a challenge group. Again, going back to that free 5 to 7 day group, that's where you're going to start. Don't worry about the big group right now. Reach out to your coach. If it's myself or anyone else on the team, reach out to your coach that brought you in here and ask them to work with you. And that brings me to my third point: team up with your coach. I know for myself, I've been doing some team challenges lately, and I am more than happy to do this for people, because I remember not having confidence in running challenge groups. And so now when we get a new coach, I am more than happy to team up with you, and I will be in the group kind of to supervise and to point you in the right direction. But you, as the new coach to hosting a challenge group, you are the one hosting it. So that way we're kind of co-hosts, and then for your next challenge, you're comfortable enough to branch out and take the lead and start running your own. You'll see me post in here a lot too, where we do a big team challenge where we have four or five of us coaches that team up, and we all take shifts or turns or whatever. So Monday I would do a challenge. Let's say Tuesday, coach number 2 does a challenge. Wednesday, coach number 3 does a challenge, and we just rotate. So that gives each coach a turn to kind of add their own little spice or their own flavor on that group. Last one, really great way to keep people accountable. There's a couple ways to do this one. I have not personally done it in a while. I was keeping track of this, which is why it took me so long. Points. Come up with a point system where if they check in just saying, hey guys, here's how my day went, that's worth 1 point. If they post a picture of their daily Shakeology recipe, that's worth 2 points. If they post a post-workout sweaty selfie, that can be 5 points. Come up with the point system, because this is going to bring out the competitive edge in people, because a lot of times when people look at a 30-day challenge group, like I said, they're really, really fresh and excited and strong in that first week. But there comes a time around week 2 going into week 3 where people lose their motivation. So having a point system, it gives people that extra little boost that they need. Again, when I used to do this, I ran it for 6 weeks, and I personally had to go through each day and scroll through and write down everyone's points. And I found it was time consuming. So if you have the extra time, that's a great way to do it, so you know exactly how many points people have. I'm actually considering doing this point system again for my next challenge group, and I'm actually going to do the trust system. So I'm going to leave it to each person individually to send in their points. That way it's going to be a little bit easier to track rather than you having to go through and scroll. So aside from that, that's kind of challenge groups in a nutshell. That should hit the basics on how to run a challenge group, how to find people. Again, it comes with that free challenge, that first one. Make it 5 days. Make it short. It can be even 3 days. I'd probably say no more minimum than 3 days. But just find a way to draw people in, because it's kind of like a try before you buy for your coaching. You want to get people in, and like I said, if you get 10 people in, you might get 2 or 3 solid leaders, people who are serious about taking their health to that next level, take their fitness to that next level. So it's always going to be a numbers game. Just don't get disappointed if you only talk to one person a day and you are disappointed that at the end of the week you had 0 people interested in anything. It's because you didn't talk to enough people. This whole business and any other business, like I said, I've been running a massage business, and it's the exact same system. It's not just Beachbody. I hit a point when I first signed up and I'm talking to people and building the business where I got so discouraged because I thought I talked to 25 people this week and only 5 people joined me. And I thought, why? Why is this business so hard? And then I switched over and started running my own massage business, and guess what? The exact same thing started to happen. And I had a turning point where I went, oh, it's every business. This is why you hear that being a CEO is tough. Going to a 9-to-5 job and clocking in and clocking out, that's easy. Anyone can do that. The average person does that. But for you to step up and run your own life on your own terms and keep yourself on a schedule, that's self-discipline right there. That takes work. So it's the exact same thing with this. Have the thought in mind that you need to go out and invite a lot of people if you want to build a large organization. But aside from that, again, I asked all the people on the live call, if you guys have any questions or challenge group stuff that I missed, feel free to hop on. So I want to make sure we have enough information that a new coach can watch this recording and feel comfortable enough to start their group. Anyone have anything? You go good? Awesome. Cool. Well, we are going to wrap this one up. This has been Coach Shaz. I thank you guys for being on the live call or watching the recording. Again, if you have any further questions, do not hesitate to reach out to your coach or to myself. inside the group. Feel free to use the group too if you just want to do a post inside there and get different opinions and perspectives, because we all have run challenge groups. We've all done our own styles and own twists. This information here that's what works for me. Again, this whole business is not a universal fit. What I do is not going to work for everybody. What other people do may not work for me. I've tried stuff in the past that absolutely failed, and I follow what works for me. So again, take this with a grain of salt, make it your own, and the biggest tip I can give you is just start. That is the best tip I was ever given by my upline coach, Jason. When I first started talking about the idea of challenge groups, when I started talking about hosting a fit club, when I started talking about thinking about quitting my job and doing Beachbody full time, every single time I brought up a new idea, he said, okay, great, just start. Because it's easy to have an idea or to be inspired and to not follow through with any of it. I have a list, I can't tell you how long, of stuff that now I don't even remember it, but at the time I had these great ideas, but I never acted on them. Real quick, it's one of my favorite speakers, Les Brown, talks about the wealthiest place on the planet is the graveyard, because it's in the graveyard where you will find inspirations and dreams that never happen because that person never started. One more tip is you're going to suck when you first do this. You're going to suck the first time you do anything, the first time you get on video, the first time you host a challenge group, the first time you talk to somebody about Beachbody, you're going to suck. But guess what? With time and practice, you will get better. You will get more confident. You will get so much more confident in what you do. It's crazy to me now that I'm able to hop up on a video call here. I'm able to host now our team business opportunity webinar. I'm able to do all this completely with comfort because I'm comfortable being on video. I never was in the past, but it's because I did it so much. Even on the days I did not want to, I did it so much and I practiced so much that when I show up for the big game, I don't have to worry because I've been practicing. It's not the Super Bowl that people win the championship. It's the daily practices in that off season and in the on season that lead up to that. So my biggest tip, guys, is if you are inspired to start a challenge group, make a very basic list of how you want it to be, what style of challenge group you want. Set a start date for 2 weeks out, because 2 weeks is a good enough time to invite a decent number of people. Set a date for your challenge group and just start it. It doesn't matter if one person shows up. It doesn't matter if 100 people show up. Just start it. Practice. And if you need any help whatsoever, we are here as a team to help each other. So post in the group, reach out to myself, reach out to your upline coach. Just get started with this. You will be so happy you did. Aside from that, this has been Coach Chaz. Peace out, crew. I will see you hopefully on the 6 p.m. Pacific time, which is in 2.5 hours. I will see you at the business opportunity presentation. If you need the link, it's inside the team group. I just posted it not too long ago. And just go ahead and comment and it will bump up to the top. And I hope I will see you guys there. Be sure to invite all your people that you know have been interested in either challenge groups or the business opportunity, because I touch base on both. And hopefully we will get this team exploding, growing, and making some dreams come true, guys. This has been Chaz again. Peace out. I'll see you later.